Okay, you go.
Welcome to Happy Hour with
Ruth and Roxy.
Roxy, yes.
See,
We're out of sync completely.
we are out of sync,
here.
and we have a confession to make. We didn't have an episode.
Yeah. I mean, we missed it. Did anybody notice?
Teri noticed. Our friend Teri noticed.
Teri noticed.
She came in my house and it was like, "What the hell, man?"
I love that.
So thank you, Teri.
I love it. Thank you very much, Teri. Yeah, it's been a ride. We talked about it, and we actually recorded like the last couple ones we did in advance because we knew it was going to be crazy with us moving, and then it was crazier than I thought. So I just and you kind of have to be for me, you have to be in the right space, and I wasn't in the right space. So I was in the space to sort my space, and it's not done yet, but this space is better now. So there you go.
There you go. See, and we're back. And in the meantime, we had some stuff that we worked out a little bit and talked about just a few changes here, which we'll get into a little later. But I didn't. So before we start, I do want to give a couple of shout outs. Teri is one of them because not only did she miss us, but she was at the bubble party I had, and I don't know if we said anything about it with the last time. Anyway, I had a launch of our little dome that you can see behind me, and Teri and her husband Andy came, and they were so helpful, and they worked through the whole party, and they were just, I was just so grateful, and so did our friends Cathy and Todd, who like pushed me out of the way in the barbecue and at the pizza oven at one point, so I could just go talk to some people, and then our friend Jill in England, right? So she, all of a sudden the door knocks on the Friday before the party, and there's a guy there, and he hands me this thing, and I open it, and she sent a bottle of bubbles. Because she could, well, I mean, I invited her to the party. I invited her to every party.
Sure.
But she sent it because they wish they could be here, but they couldn't. So there's a bottle of bubbles.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Which is
lovely.
Pretty sweet. And then I've had a week of abundance. My friend Mick from New Hampshire, I was talking to her about Trader Joe's bags, and she was going to pick up some for me because A, they're great, and B, apparently they're really popular in Europe now. So they're good gifts if you're going there, although I don't want to give American products. But anyway, Mick was looking, and she's gone back to Trader Joe's like 6 times. And I got this beautiful package this week of not only 5 really cool Trader Joe's bags, but also a little charm for my keychain. You know the story about the starfish? There's a bunch of starfish on the beach, and the guy's throwing them back in. Yeah. And there's this beautiful little sort of note about how important I've been to their family, which is really lovely.
Right? That is so lovely.
Nice.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. I've had a good week for presents, man.
You have. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. I so wished I could be there at your party.
I know. It was really fun, and I didn't take as many photos as I thought I might, but people did take some. But it was really fun. But at this age, and I think this sort of leads into some of the new ideas we're talking about, Rox. At this age, I question whether big parties are still a thing for me.
Yeah. Well, I absolutely.
It was like, and it's not like it wasn't fun,
but it's a lot of work, right?
Exhausting.
It's exhausting, and there's mental work involved, and the mental work is almost, for me, it's almost worse. Like I can apparently move a yard or 2 of soil with my own muscles. But
look at those muscles.
But the mental work of figuring out, who's gonna planning things. It's never been my strength.
Well, and it's all of it, right? Like it's all of the. I want people to be happy, and I want them to have fun, and I want there is a layer of that kind of social stress on it, and it's it's just one of those where it's like it was lovely, but I didn't get to visit enough.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Is a large party. I mean, I definitely find that the older I get, splitting my attention is getting harder and harder. Yep. As in, if I'm hearing a whole bunch of conversations going on, I probably can't really tune into any of them, and I'll probably forget anything you say to me because I'm thinking about, the pizza's smoking, I got to get it out of the, like that's the kind of thing. So yeah, that gets challenging. Yep. But you know what? We are definitely off our game because we haven't talked about what we're drinking.
Well, there we go.
What are you drinking, Ruth?
I'm drinking.
Can I make a guess? Can I make a guess?
Here, go back. Edit. Okay.
Stoneboat Bubbleboat.
Yes.
Yes.
And San Pellegrino blood orange sparkling, which is really good. It's a
I
very
did see that earlier.
Very, very bright color.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. Because of the party, I got some non-alcoholic drinks, right? And so, but this one's really good. It's
blood orange
also
is a fantastic flavor.
Yeah.
I love it.
It really is.
It's very.
And what are you drinking, Rox?
I am drinking Matua.
I love
blanc
that one.
From New Zealand. I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. And it's because I don't have any bubbles, but I have put my order in. So finally, because you sent me that, like, let's join the club and here's your bonus, whatever. And I didn't want to do it before we moved because knowing me, I'd end up having to drive an hour and a half back to pick up a case of bubbles because I sent it to the wrong place. So anyway, so I was on the phone today, and I will give a shout out to the Stoneboat people because she was lovely, and I'm so sorry I don't know her
They're so
name.
Awesome. We'll tag them on this though, because they are like.
She remembered us.
Really?
That's funny. Because I went on because you sent me the thing. I clicked the link, and then I put my order in, and it wouldn't give me the discount. It wouldn't show that I was a member,
right.
And so I had to go through a whole. So anyway, I called her rather than being, just
Dealing
stupid or mad.
Yeah.
So I called and she helped me through it. She set me up the membership thing, and she said, "Yeah, it's because you have to become a member first, and then you can apply the discount. And the discount doesn't apply until your first membership shipment. Right. So and that's like 6 bottles, right? And I was ordering a case. So she
and a case to you is 12, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And she very
kindly. Case cost people from Ontario, we think 24 is in the case.
Oh, really?
But not necessarily of wine, but of beer.
Oh, for sure. Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? My head just went, but yes. Okay, so you got
12. Yeah. So I got 6 of the bubble boat that we love, and then 3 each of they have 2 different bubble rosés. So I got those, and she very kindly said, "We'll apply this to your upcoming July order." Because you have to order in, I think it's April, July, and then fall.
Yeah. There's like 3 times a year you order.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, they show you, and so every once in a while because I like some of the reds. They do a really great Pinot Noir. I'm not a big Pinot Noir person.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like heavier reds, but I just switch them all over to bubbles, and I mean, and even this time I wanted to get some, and I'm trying to remember. I don't know why. But they were like, "Oh, they're not quite out yet." Oh, and they weren't going to be out quite by the time the quarterly or whatever it is, the shipment had to go. But they're like, "We'll hold your account so we can put those in instead of the other ones." And I was like, "I'll pick one of the other bubbles, but I'd rather." And they were like, "We'll fix it for you."
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Stoneboat. We'll put the link in again, but they are fabulous humans, and the wine is great. And if you're a Pinot Noir fan, their Pinot Noir is really great.
It is good. They've got a couple there. She was trying to find me, and then I was telling her that I got a referral from you, and so I gave her your name, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, why?" She had to do some sorting out, and then she said, "Oh, I've got this address," or what she figured was, "Why don't I have you in the system?" And then I said, "Oh, it's because we used to live next door, and Ruth always ordered, and we would split the order. So I'm not actually in the system.
Right.
You're in the system." And then then I said, "We do this little podcast, Happy Hour with Ruth and Roxy," and she's like, "Oh, I remember you guys. Oh, okay. We'll make this work. This will be great."
So sweet, hey?
Yeah, it was so sweet. It was very kind.
No.
So anyway, I've got my bubbles coming. But they won't ship
that's
until.
Exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And I also ordered because apparently I'm on a roll this week. The Tantalus Riesling that Ray loves. They've always got a summer sale.
Right.
So I ordered a case of that as well. So while he's gone, because he's gone next week and Paul's gone next week, which is
which screws up our holiday time, Rox.
I know, it does.
Oh well.
But yeah, there'll be a couple of fun shipments arriving at my door. I
like it when they deliver and they're not home.
I do too. I know.
I was like, honestly, it's not about the money, because that's never an issue. It's just like none of their business.
None of your business. Yep.
Right? You just mind your own self.
You just mind your own self. Yep. Yep. I gotcha.
Okay.
Totally gotcha.
So do you want to know what we're going to talk about today, Roxanne?
I really do, because I have no clue, because you sent me something and it's lost because my email's still screwed up. So
I don't know if you can hear that airplane flying over me. One of the challenges of being outdoors.
yes.
But I have to say, so, you see my bubble shining in like, I wonder when the planes go over if they think, what the heck is that?
They're keeping an eye on you. That's why.
I expect they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's one weird thing that happened to you this week? You got a weird thing?
Well, I will say, while we were getting our water feature maintained, the lovely Roger went down to his truck, went around the side of his house, and just went to get some more equipment, and then came running back up the side of the house saying that there was a bear in the street, and the bear was like, it's a no parking on either side street, right? Just like Creekside. So bear was on one side and Roger was on the other side. So Roger booted it back up to the house. And I still have only caught one glimpse of the bear.
Wow.
This bear is around. This bear is
no kidding,
a lot. Yeah.
Okay, I would call that a weird thing. The service person has to run back in your house.
He was pretty freaked out. He's not necessarily comfortable with animals. He was, and to be fair, we have 3 dogs here right now because we're looking after Zoe. But he's like, "Ooh, your doggies won't bite me, right?" No, doggies won't bite you.
Yeah, they'll lick you to death, but they won't bite you.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like
what weird thing happened to you?
Well, I'm trying to think if I had one. I certainly had one at the party we had, because I have a really, really good friend from when I was at McLean's, and she was a publicist, and she met her husband, that they've been married forever. They've got, two young adults as kids. But we were talking, and they were talking about, it was a bit of a funny thing because I was really good friends with Val, and then her husband John, his brother Jim was the service advisor for my Jeep, because I've always had a Jeep. And Jim was a musician, and we became buddies. We didn't date or anything. We were just buddies. So I knew John, my friend's husband, before she knew him. And by different times, like it's really funny, because there was a time, I invited all of them to go see another friend play at a bar. And I think Val went and Jim went, but John got a cold and stayed home. So they didn't meet then.
Okay.
Right. So this is before they'd met. And then another time I had put my Jeep in, and the service advisor Jim guy at the Jeep, the brother, had become good friends. And he's like, if it's intermittent, I need to drive it. And it was like, well, then take it home, right? Because I would get a service car, and he's my friend. I know he's not going bar to bar, right, with it. And so it's like, well, take it home and see if it does it to you, or else I'm crazy, right? Well, the day before, I had driven Val home, and he took it and picked up his brother on the way home, and they went to, the brother came to his house and hung around. So within 24 hours, Val and John, who are now married and have been married for years, were in the same Jeep. They still hadn't met yet. Right?
That's
so
weird.
So we were like, to me, that was like, I did this. There are 2 other human beings, they're kids, because of me. And it was like, I actually wasn't there when they met. You know what I mean? But a very funny thing, how close their paths cross.
Yeah. Right? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Doesn't that make you wonder, like, and there's so many movies and books about this sort of thing, like the things that almost happened, right?
Yeah.
Things that almost, or the butterfly effect. This thing happened here, and then way over here it affected something else. I love that. I mean, the storytelling options are just like unlimited. With that
I can see there's a whole new book series in your eyes. I can see it. So let's talk about childhood beliefs, because I've been thinking about that kind of thing too. So I happen to know one of your childhood beliefs that I think you should share, and it might include a monkey.
It might include a monkey. So I don't know where I came up with this idea. I'm just going to adjust my video here so you can see it. I, for some reason, believed that when you were in grade 4, you got a monkey. And not a live, real monkey, not that exactly, but like a toy monkey. So let's see if I change this.
Are you trying to zoom in on him?
Yeah, I don't.
You might be safer just going to get him.
Yeah,
He's a
it
bit
might be.
blurry from where I'm sitting, and I really haven't had much bubbles.
Yeah,
Any bubbles? Much bubbles.
much bubbles, much.
I
I
made you
don't know.
think.
Yeah,
I made the word genius think.
clearly, I haven't been working for long. Okay, this is what I thought everybody got in grade 4 was a monkey. Look at him. Look at he's so cute. His name
So
is
do you
Winnie.
remember what made you think that?
No, I have no idea. All I can remember is a very clear moment in grade 4 where I was sitting in the class and the teacher kind of looked at me and I thought that she was beckoning me to the front or something. So I sort of got up out of my desk to walk. And then she kind of gave this like, oh, there's that idiot thinking that I should come up. And then I sat down again and I'm like, I don't know. So, and how is that connected to the monkey belief? I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, so I'm relating
Wait,
the story to
hang on.
Ruth.
I got to tell you, I've got to carry that through. So from what I know of you, you sat down and you were like, "Ugh, I wonder when I get my monkey."
I could have, because I think that's what I was expecting. I think
Right.
that
You thought it was time for your monkey.
yes, I thought that she was going to say, "Come on up, and I'll give you your monkey," and then she didn't, and I
Have you ever asked a therapist about
that.
this?
No. I got bigger
think you
things to
need-
talk to my therapist about. Let me tell you.
I know, but I want just ask. I'll pay for the session. Just ask. Anyway, sorry. Then keep going. You were
That's a
about
funny
to say
one.
something.
Yeah, no. So I don't know where that came from. Okay, so the story of the monkey. I'm telling Ruth this story early on in our relationship. Maybe the first year we met. I don't know.
Yep.
How do we get onto these weird
I
conversations?
don't know, but I remember
Yeah.
peeing myself laughing.
So exactly. So the steel trap between you and Paul, you guys just remember everything, which is really scary because I remember little.
No, I remember some things. He remembers everything.
He's scary. He's scary.
Yeah.
So we go out for dinner for my birthday. You guys took me out for dinner, which is really irritating because you don't let us take you out for anything when it's your birthday. Anyway, we're out for dinner and again, I'm so oblivious. We walked into this great outdoor patio place and you had this gift in your I didn't see it. I didn't even see it. Like
I carry big bags, just saying. My
yeah, I
purse is
guess
big.
you're good at that. Anyway, and she pulls out this monkey. She's like, now you can recover your grade 4 self and here's the monkey you should have
heal your
caught
inner
60
child, man.
years ago. 50 years ago. I named it for the Milagro Beanfield.
Book? Is it a book?
It's a movie.
Or did you have a name for your monkey back in the day?
No, not back in the day.
Oh,
that was
okay.
that was when you
This
gave it
is
to
your
me.
it
Mostly I
really
just
sounds
call him
more
my
like a monkey.
Yeah. I think it's
say.
silly. Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway, so
Okay,
what's a weird
wait, let's ask our community. Do any of you have stories like this? Right? Like, because it is really like, so I remember my sister having an imaginary friend, but its name was Tony the Painted Pony. And
Ooh.
Tony, the painted pony, still seems pretty real to me. You know what I mean? So I don't know whether she described him like that or she described him so well I hallucinated him. But I remember his name. Who remembers their siblings' imaginary friend's name? Like, unless it was like a crazy imaginary friend that killed the parents.
Did you have an imaginary friend of your own?
I had ghosts.
I don't think that's quite the same. It's related.
No, but like nobody ever scared me. But we lived in an old house, right? And I lived in an old part for as old as Canada could be, right? Like, let's be clear,
yes,
compared to many places, Canada's not old.
No.
But like, I don't remember. I still have a very robust internal life, right? Like the world in my head has nothing on the world out here except it's mostly good. But I remember knowing that there were spirits, but I don't remember having my own like playmate.
Okay.
Now, did you have one?
Oh yeah. I had an
I'm
imaginary.
not worried about yours, given that you were in a freaking one-room schoolhouse with no bathroom.
had a bathroom. It was in the basement in
Outside.
a bucket. Yes, there was an outside
It
one.
was a little walk.
It was cool. It was Saskatchewan. It was a little chilly in the winter. No, I had an imaginary friend named Juba. I don't
Juba.
know Juba. I don't know why. I don't know where she
You
came
don't know
from.
why you called this imaginary friend Juba?
I didn't call her that. That was her name.
Okay,
So
you just scared me. You
I'm
just
just
pulled a little poltergeist attitude, man.
that's the name she came with. What can I
Oh,
tell you?
that's funny.
But I have to tell you, so my monkey is holding a candle, and this is what Ruth gave me when we
It's a little
both
blurry.
moved.
My
There we
love
go.
is like a candle. If you forget me, I will burn your fucking house down. See, I'm
It's the
very
best.
affectionate.
You okay? So this is the thing. You are the gift queen because you find stuff, and I mean, my house has got a lot of cool Ruth-isms in it because
And
of it.
most of them swear, just saying.
Cuss words are good. They're psychologically good for you.
They are. Okay, I have another question, and then we are going to go in, and we're not going to go like 5 years into the future, or because we keep over taping. But and I think we've talked about this before on the podcast. When you were a kid, what were the things, possessions, behaviors, whatever it was that made you think, oh, that person's rich?
Oh, that was easy for me because we did have cousins who, in my world, they were rich, and they were
Yeah,
rich because they had. Okay, this we're talking now, 63, 73, late 70s. All right.
yeah.
And when we would get together for Christmas at my grandma's house, my grandma and grandpa's house, these cousins would have electronic games.
Yeah.
Electronic games, Ruth. They were
Mm,
fun and they were cool and they were expensive, I'm
yeah.
guessing. I don't know. We didn't
Yeah.
have electronic games.
Well, I'm
We
sure
lived in the country.
relative, right, to what other things cost, electronic games would be expensive, right?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Yep. And
Yeah.
they also had a purebred, well, this is what we were told, Chihuahua, long-haired Chihuahua, who when they came over to our house, he would lift his leg and pee on our walls. And nobody seemed to care. But anyway, like we never had purebred dogs. They had a
Right.
purebred dog. And now I'm like, I remember Rusty. He was no purebred Chihuahua. So
Right.
anyway,
Yeah. Interesting though, right?
yeah, yeah. But yeah, to me, they were rich.
Yeah.
They were the
Right.
rich relatives. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It is so funny. Okay, so what made you think somebody was rich?
So I lived an interesting life right in Cabbagetown because down the street from us was Regent Park, which was subsidized housing, right,
Okay.
from the provincial government. And so you had people, most of the people there were struggling, right? They
Hmm.
were single parents or
Okay.
or perhaps abusive relationship. Like
Hmm.
these were people that were among our most vulnerable.
Yeah.
Many of them, I from what I understand, had jobs and worked and cared, but it was also like it was hard for them to support a family, and
Okay.
and and a lot of that, like most of my friends there had single parents, right,
Okay.
or new immigrant parents who were just
Right.
trying to, right, to get a thing. But of course that also brought along the grifters and the
Mm,
things, and the people that would drive Cadillacs and sell drugs, but they lived in a government supported, that kind of thing. But up the
right.
street from us would be symphony, right? Toronto Symphony
Ah,
conductor,
yeah.
and well-known artists and thought leaders and
That's not
scientists.
that different from the Vancouver downtown east side,
But
right?
that's exactly,
The
like,
east side is
exactly, right?
here, like it's really rough, and then you go
Yeah.
2 blocks up and you're in the financial district, right?
No,
It's
and that's
crazy.
exactly, it was very much like this dichotomy of it. And I think back then, at least, south, right, which is where the poverty was, and
Hmm.
a little bit like a block north was where the people, the elite, we will
Oh,
call them.
okay.
And
Okay.
but south, I think we were seen as rich because we had
Oh,
a
yeah.
cottage,
Yeah.
right? And it was a family cottage, but we
Hmm.
also had, when it first came out, we had a color TV. First of all, we had black and white TV, and then we had a color TV,
Color
right? And so when
TV.
I think about that,
Hmm.
and I mean, that really ages me. But the other side of that is like, but then you'd go into these people that you got to know as neighbors, and we had dogs, and you'd go in, they would have these beautiful homes, and I never saw them. And they came to my parents' house for dinner, and we had, you know, simple decor, right? I mean, my mom liked nice things, but I don't think we could afford really. Like, she had a lot of antiques and stuff, but it's because she found them at the thrift store. And so, but they never seemed to judge, right? But you go into their house and it's like, that's why I'm still obsessed with anybody who has a kitchen pantry.
Oh,
right? Like a room you go into.
Yeah.
It'd be like, holy hell.
I have a pantry now, Ruth. Trust me, you do not want to go in there.
You're rich, man.
You do not want to go in there.
Like,
it is a death trap.
But that's it, right? But it's like one of those where it's like, and yet two others there, because we were like right in the middle of those two very different things, right? But I look now and look back at things, and it's like, because most of the people that were north of us, they traveled, right? And we're talking, you know, late 60s, 70s, right? When I was aware of it, like they traveled. I mean, we went to the cottage. I think I was the first person in my family to go to Europe, right? Except for the fact that, you know, my grandparents came from Scotland and England. Right. But
that's absolutely a sign of wealth, right?
Yeah.
The ability to go elsewhere and bring back their viruses to a whole new continent, you know, that's wealth, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't, I think I was the first person in my family to get on an airplane when I moved from from Saskatchewan to Ontario. I think that was the first time anybody in my family had been on an airplane.
Right. And that's the other part. Now, what dog is that?
What dog is that? Hey, what dog is that? What dog is that?
Oh, has he gone gray? What the heck, man?
No, well,
I saw his back end.
Oh, no.
And maybe it's just the lighting.
Yeah, I think it's the lighting. He's not really going gray. He's fading a bit, but. Yeah.
Okay, I do have to tell you, and this has nothing to do with people being wealthy, but I read this, and I think what might have started this whole thing in my brain was I read this thing on social media, and it was a list of what's normal in your house and what isn't normal.
Okay.
Right, for other people's house.
Yeah.
And there was one that said, well, I went into my friend's house, and as I'm going I had to go to the washroom, as I'm going to the bathroom, they handed me a knife. And apparently they had a poo knife.
No. I don't know what that means, but no.
And it was like, when I read it, it was like, I might have hightailed it out of there then. Right?
Yeah.
But.
Yep. Nope. That's a terrible idea. I can't, that pictures in my head, they're bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it was just like, and then he said after his friend was all freaked out, and then this person realized that's not normal. Right.
In that culture.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But that's just it. And whatever, like the person didn't mention sort of any ethnicity or anything. And my mind immediately went to, which is terrible to say, was like trailer park-ish. Right?
Really?
Well, if it ain't coming out, Mavis, we're going to dig it out. And I mean, that's right. You know, it's like one of those where it's like, please don't do that.
Oh boy. Well, I hope it was a butter knife then and not a steak knife.
Well, they didn't get into that.
Now we got some nasty. But this is okay. So in researching before our trip to China that we did, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, it is not normal in a lot of the world to wipe your bum with paper.
Right.
It's gross. Because that's not clean. You need to wipe yourself with water. Like you need to spray water. And that's, I think, where a lot of the, like even when we were looking for houses, we're looking at all these different houses, going through them. And the houses that were owned by Asian people tended to have bidets. Yeah. Because they want, and I got a whole story about going through a house and Ray needing to use the bathroom and coming out just with the biggest laughy grin on his face. He's like, well, I had tried the bidet and my sinuses are clear now.
Well, that's just it. But we had them in the hotel we had in Rome, right?
Yes, we did. I didn't use it. I was scared. I was scared. But yeah, so the first time I went in there, and I'm like, first of all, where's the toilet paper? Second of all, what the hell is that towel for? It's a white towel. Nope. No.
Yep.
But this just goes to show you like the differences in culture and what's clean, what's not.
Yeah.
Best line.
And it is, but it's also the social differences. Like, as soon as somebody came in my house, my mom would be like, are they staying for dinner? And then other times you would go into a home and it's like, why is she here? Right. And those are family cultural differences.
Yes.
Right. Like kind of, and it wasn't that the person, but it was a problem. Honestly, given the context, I expect if it was South, it was because they didn't have enough to share.
Right.
Right. Like now all this stuff kind of comes to you is like the people that are so generous and at ease. And I have to admit, the less people have, the more generous in my life. Like the people I've met in South Africa and in Kenya, right, they're day to day. They're not even paycheck to paycheck. They're day to day. Can I get some food today? And they would be the first ones to welcome you in. So I guess, but the other side of that is understanding. I have a different idea of what I think rich is today than I did back then. Right. And today it's like, what's your life? You have enough. Right.
Yeah. I think a lot these days about the idea of poverty in old age. And, so I'm not quite there yet, but I see, and I'm watching my parents, my husband's parents, people around us that are aging, and how does aging work? What does it look like? Where do you live? Who helps you with your things? And there's a certain amount where you need money. You need money. If you stop cooking for yourself, well, then you need to hire somebody to cook for you or order. And
that is not inexpensive.
No. And that's, there's a book I'm going to recommend right now called.
Really? What a surprise, Rox.
It's Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote Anne of Green Gables, but she also wrote a book called The Blue Castle, which is completely separate and different from anything else. But The Blue Castle is in short form. It's a point of view as a young woman who's grown up in a very restricted home, not super wealthy. She's got a single mother, or her mom's a widow, right? Lives with her uncle and some cousins and whatever. And everything is like, careful what the neighbors think, and don't do this and don't do that, and do everything right. And she is almost 30 and unmarried, which is at that time a big, huge deal, big, huge shame. And so the book is written in that time frame. Now, because I've often thought, I want to write my version of The Blue Castle.
But
cool. The time, the social milieu at the time was very different. But anyway, she gets a diagnosis, a terminal diagnosis, and it frees her because she's like, I don't have to worry about poverty in old age anymore. I don't have to worry about sucking up to this uncle I hate just because he's put me in his will. I don't have to worry about all these things because I'm not going to get old and be poverty stricken. So I'm free now. And so that period in her life where she is exploring this freedom is just wonderful. And it's, but it's something you don't think about that when you're young. You don't think about, how am I going to, what happens? Okay, so I'm now in a house with 2 flights of stairs, right? What happens when my knee gives out? My hip gives out.
Yeah.
Fortunately, yoga seems to be bringing all that back, to functional. But I think about that. So you have to at some point.
Right. And it is a whole thing about talking about that sort of. And I think this actually kind of leads us into the we haven't quite named it yet. I'm trying to think of a cheeky name, like, why the hell are you asking us for advice?
Exactly.
Right? But like that kind of thing, because I think that leads into, so when we had the bubble party, many of people I've known in a different life are on the island now, and they came, and it was really lovely. I'm talking these people that I started my career with, right? My friend Val, who's a publicist, and then another Ruth, little Ruth, better Ruth is what I say now, was here, and she started at Maclean's as a researcher, and then she went on and did all sorts of stuff. We worked together in comms later, and we're all talking about retirement. And it was really interesting to me because Paul and I we're not quite ready for retirement for a whole bunch of reasons, mostly because my little pea brain can't take it. I think Paul would run into retirement in a heartbeat, but I need him, so he has got to stick around. But I was asking them, when did you know?
Yeah.
What did you decide? What does it feel like when that part, like, and Val and I talked a lot about this, is like, there's a piece of you that your identity lives there, right? And it isn't just, what do I do today? It's like, who am I today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So as Rox and I talked about, maybe doing a little, 5-minute advice area. If the community sends it in, it's like, what would I do about this? Right. We'll give you our best case. We'll get the community to weigh in. It can be, if you don't want your name used, it can be confidential. You can send it, create a random Gmail email if you want it to be absolutely anonymous. But like for me, here I would say is the question for this week, for those who are coming up to, or in the middle of, or have retired, what advice would you give someone thinking about it? So what advice, because you're not really truly retired, Rock. You're semi-retired,
No.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm retired from my role in veterinary medicine. And as far as, my identity is, I do identify more as a writer and now an editor. And I don't want to retire from that. I don't see that ever happening. But what does that mean for now, as far, like the idea of coming up with a new series idea, pitching it to a publisher, coming up with the whole, how am I going to make this work in the market and all that exhausts me. But writing a story that I care about, that excites me. Excites me. So, and editing, I just love it. Editing, working with authors that want to hear what I have to say, or want to,
and your expertise and experience.
Like I love that stuff. So I've got a few projects going on there that are super exciting, and I will keep doing that. Hopefully I'll get back to my own writing as well at some point, but I don't feel the deadline pressure had been weighing on me for quite a while, and that's a challenging one. I know a lot of writers struggle with that.
Yeah.
And when you're working on contract, you don't have a choice. That's how it works.
Right.
If you're self-publishing, if you're going indie, then you have a different kind of stress because, is this book going to get picked up, or am I publishing it myself the correct way, and whatever. So
there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes with that, because the other side of that, if you're publishing indie, you are going to engage an experienced editor, because like there's so much that goes with that, and also that creates deadlines, right? Like and to me, like, it's funny because I was thinking about this, and to me it's almost like you have to finish the first draft and then get a developmental editor and take that, and then don't hire the next stage until you got through that, right? Right?
I was
like,
following,
Yeah,
I was reading a blog of somebody I'm not familiar with, and I don't remember her name right now. Anyway, on Facebook, but she was being quite candid about the pain that she felt in giving up, because that's how she was phrasing it. She's giving up, but she also mentioned that she had written 60 books in 15 or 20 years. So I would, and she had published independently, and she was saying about how she just couldn't make any money, and she was exhausted, and she didn't see her kids or family. They were mad at her and all these things. And I know there's a school of thought, there's a whole group out there that promote the type of indie publishing where you just produce a book every quarter, or every 3 months,
churn them out,
or 3 months is a quarter, or every 2 months, or every month, or every week. Like, they're publishing so fast, and it's a treadmill that they're on, and it's absolute burnout material. And also, I question, I mean, I don't read this, I don't read that avidly. I don't read that kind of material that avidly.
Yep.
But yeah,
I'm sorry, I question the craft.
I question the craft too. You can't possibly do it.
Unless you're using AI, and that sucks.
Oh, exactly. Then it's not your work. So,
well, that's just it. And because I can tell you, and I mean, to write for someone at Maclean's, and we had tight deadlines because it was a news magazine, but to write a 7-page feature, unless it was breaking news and there were a bunch of people on it, a 7-page, like, let's say they were doing, I don't know, the anniversary of when I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to get it wrong, but the anniversary of a tragedy in Canada, right? They would have probably 3 or 4 weeks to do the interviews and do all the things and get it. And we're talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 pages. And that would be a lot on that person, right? And they would have researchers and reporters helping them. So to me, to write a good book, unless you're, and even then, a good editor makes a good book.
Yeah. 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 And that's, you know, like I can, for quite a few years, I think I averaged about 2 to 3 titles a year. 2 for a full length book of 70, which is not a big book, to 80,000 words. 2 a year is that's the max that I can do.
But that's a lot, because I've seen you go through the process with 3 books since we've been friends, right? And it takes it out of, like, because you care about the story, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it takes it out of, like, and I think that's just it. But I'm not quite sure how we got off topic about help, because you don't want to be putting out there that you'll read anybody's book, right?
No,
that's not the help me question that you need.
No, not to help me, but it is part of the, you know, assess. So it might not be that you know, like, I think about this author that I was talking about on Facebook, and in my mind, when I read her posts, I went, you don't need to quit, honey. You need to slow down. You need to slow down and rediscover the joy of the craft.
Yeah.
Right. And it's the advice I've told myself. It's like, and I've always tended to be a project oriented kind of person rather than a steady state kind of person. Like, I'll go full on absolute immersion, full immersion, and then I'm out, and then I'm growing corn or something in my front yard. Right. You know what I mean? So I can't keep that steady state going. I love
that kind of feels like ADHD, and I only say that because I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah. Well, we've had these conversations. I feel very, I identify
but it is,
with that
right?
too.
But the other side is, like, for me, it's let's say it was somebody that had that, or it was somebody that said, I'm retired and all I do is this, and comes for advice, because our advice will just help trigger the community to give advice, right? And that's what I like best, like, about Reddit. And holy, like, people on Reddit don't hold back when you're being a bonehead, right? People on Reddit are great. It's like, you need to rethink this. You know, the am I the asshole on Reddit?
Oh, yeah.
Lots of times they're like, right? And to their credit, people have come truly to find out. But I think it's that, you know, the navigating relationships and in this stage of life, and also the ridiculous things of, you know, I have some questions after having 35 or 38 people here of how many dishes are too many to serve at a thing. You know what I mean? Like, when does it become you've become obsessive?
Oh, you know I can tell you it was 6 dishes ago, Ruth.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. I mean, I had 5 different kinds of homemade ice cream. That was a bit much.
And for you, though, I think part of what you enjoy about throwing parties like that is the anticipation. It's the research, it's the prep, all that. And then the thing actually happens and you're like, why did I agree to do this, Roxanne? Why did you let me do this? This is terrible. You know, so, and for me, I'm kind of the opposite. I enjoy the thing itself, but the work up to it makes me crazy. And I usually become something of a lunatic then, which is why I don't do them.
No.
Without you.
What? Yes,
I don't do them without you.
Well, can't do them without me. No. But all of this to say is we're going to do a little to be named, you know, question and answer of, hey, what about this?
It's like
advice.
Ask us anything with an asterisk.
There's an asterisk there, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if it's advice, if it's input, if it's why the hell won't you do this? You know, that's good. And I think we're also going to start doing maybe a little bit more travel. So we have a trip, not us, because, you know,
not us.
Yes, us,
but you and Paul.
Actually, it's with our friends Michelle and Stephen out of the States to Italy, and we're going to see a friend who lives in a small town in Umbria, and she's got this beautiful guest house, and I'm going to ask her some questions, but we're going to do some little travel pieces and focusing at this moment on on travels around our new places, Roxanne, where we each live, but also around preparing to go to Italy, because there's a lot of information out there, and there's new visas, and there's also all this talk about pickpockets and what to do, and how to avoid the tourist traps, and how not to look like a tourist is one that kind of wrinkles me, I gotta say, because you are a tourist.
Exactly.
Right? Like it's that. But and then next year we're planning, hopefully, with our friends Teri and Andy, to go to Kenya again. And so we can do a walk up to that. And, Roxanne and I will talk, because I know Ray's not interested, but you might be, Rox. So we'll have a little conversation. Yeah. But about that kind of stuff. But like, just start, and there's so many things around here. Like, there are some great restaurants out here. It's shocking.
It's exciting. It's fun to find new places. I mean, this is a pretty prosaic kind of place, Maple Ridge. It's beautiful nature-wise, but yeah, you don't come here for the shopping. And as far as what I've found restaurant-wise is we've found some great pubs. It's pretty awesome. Casual. Like, you don't come here for fancy dining, but I mean, the Black Sheep pub is amazing. The Witch pub is amazing.
Yeah, I want to go to that. That'd be cool. Yeah. But see, you could talk about those, right? Because that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I see a tail wagging in the back.
Yeah, that was Scruffy's following Paul. He just got home from golf.
Oh, good for him. It is perfect day for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband's packing right now for his
So we're
golf
sorry
trip.
we weren't around for, that time, especially to Teri. And then
you can blame me, Teri. It was literally
it was
on
me
me.
too.
I'm just like, Ruth, I can't do it this week. I got nothing. My
But
tank
I
is
could have
empty.
posted on social media, and I just let it go. So, okay. But I do have, I found all these little tidbits of information, and one of the thing is here's a piece of advice. Nothing reveals emotional maturity faster than how someone reacts to being told no.
Ooh.
It's pretty good, hey?
Ooh, that's good.
So that's the thought we'll leave you with.
Yeah.
Stories about that might be good. Questions about advice. We are going to make a few changes as we go forward to make the podcast more consumable. I guess it would be the word. Right? I know there's people that love the long form, but we're trying to, and I'm trying to see how long we've been taping, and I can't.
I can't either. I don't know why.
It's not been our typical hour and a half.
No.
So that's a good thing.
We've controlled ourselves here somewhat.
Yes.
So that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want more of, Rox?
Oh, we want more happy hours. I really miss these. What do we want less of, Ruth?
Yeah. I want less bullshit.
Less bullshit everywhere.
Yeah.
100%.
Everywhere. Especially in people leading countries, just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have a good weekend. Teri, we're back.
We're back.
Okay.
And thanks for missing us.
We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.